Guys, it's been one heck of 2 weeks. I went on vacation with my family for about 12 days, and a lot apparently has happened in the game. The literal game was on fire at one point. Now we're apparently talking about buying trucks, and now the community thinks the game is going to die. Well, I am back from vacation. I had a great time. Like I said, it was 12 days. I did have a bunch of pre-recorded videos for about half of it, and then the last like 5-6 days, I didn't have anything because I just ran out of time recording, but here I am back in the game. So now let's talk about, if we will, what has happened, what my opinion is on it. We're going to look at the facts first, then I'll give you my opinion, and then I want to address 3 different groups of people that play this game, and I promise that you do fall in at least one of these groups, because it's who's watching these videos is who I'm talking to. So if you watch this video, I promise you will be addressed in this video. Without further ado, let's get straight to it. Okay, so like I said, a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. Let's talk about the facts. So 6 weeks ago now, there was an article about Netmarble moving 70% of the development team / production team from Marvel Future Revolution to other products or other games or other projects that they're working on. And we're going to talk about why everyone freaked out, because I had the same exact reaction you guys did. And I'm going to be honest, I was ready to make a video when I got back about how pissed off I was. And then after the emotions died down, I did some more research. I thought about it. I compared it to my own professional job, which I don't necessarily talk about all that often, and that's for a good reason. I try to keep it private, try to separate my fun hobby, which is content creation, and my professional job. All I'm going to talk about is that I've been in my company for 15 years. I've done extremely well for myself in that time, and I manage a very large team, and as the manager of that team, I am responsible then for reporting on our wins, our losses, and everything in between. So I go to a weekly meeting where I have to present what is called a P&L, so profit and loss. That's what we're going to talk about later on in this video, but I do want to give you just my general understanding of why I do recognize what they're doing and why it makes sense. And I'm not drinking the copium, as I'm sure the comments will say. I'll give you a little sip now of copium, but no, and all jokes aside, there's a lot to talk about, a lot that has happened, and I want to give you my honest opinion and my kind of like a professional opinion, if you don't mind. So let's move forward. 70% of the devs have moved away, have been moved, some of which apparently were potentially asked to even like resign, which is pretty crazy, but that's business, and that has nothing to do with our game that we're playing, so we don't need to worry about it. Now, also, they recorded a lot of loss. So the company is not doing well for the last few quarters. But again, Marvel Future Revolution, according to Godslave, again, he does a great job of reporting some of the quarterly wins and losses for the company, which is awesome. I think he said it was like just over $3 million in just iOS alone that was spent on Marvel Future Revolution. That's phenomenal. We're doing just fine if that's the kind of numbers we're still pulling. But I do want to continue talking about facts. So, and shout out to Wolvathor for doing his due diligence and finding these articles and sharing to the public. I mean, Cynical Alex also covered it and gave Wolvathor a shout out. This is very good information to have. And we'll talk about why I think a lot of people are upset. So just looking at the facts first. So in 2020 rather, the company recorded, and of course the company is Netmarble, recorded 24.5 billion won in sales and 14.8 billion won in operational loss. Last year they reported a little bit more money, 31.8 billion won in sales and 10.7 billion won in operating loss. So again, they've lowered their operating cost and raised their sales, which is phenomenal. I mean, the most expensive thing that any company is going to pay for is the labor that they're using. So the fact that they lowered their operating cost and then raised their sales is phenomenal. I mean, they made about a 21.1 billion won profit between your P&L, which is your profit and your loss. So profit is 31.8, your loss was 10.7 billion. We're looking at 21.1 in profit. So again, that's good. Maybe not good for them. It's lower than apparently it has been, but again, that's still fantastic numbers. Now let's talk about some other facts. Netmarble has purchased the intellectual property, or IP, intellectual property, from Marvel to use the characters in this game for at least 5 years. We know that to be a fact, okay? So we have 1 year down. We have 4 more to go from what Netmarble has pre-purchased, if you imagine it that way, has already purchased from Marvel to use the rights of these heroes, these characters, and everything in between, their story, the intellectual property, for the next 4 years. So we look at the fact they moved developers. We know that they have at least 4 years left in the contract, or at least the ability of using this for next 4 years. Does that mean the game is closing down? Absolutely not. The game is not shutting down. If they wanted to shut down the game, they would have not just reduced the headcount. They would have eliminated all headcount and just cut their losses. But the thing here is that they're making money off Marvel Future Revolution still. It's just not as much money as they thought they were going to be making, which is okay. There's something around like 35,000 people currently that play Marvel Future Revolution. Not a lot compared to other games, I'm going to be honest. But that just means that they are, I'm going to use the term several times in this video, right-sizing. They are right-sizing their development team, their production team, to be what it needs to be for this game to be successful and continue on the trajectory that it's on. Then they're going to move the rest of those resources to other games so they can, as a whole company, because again, Netmarble Monsters, who's developing Marvel Future Revolution, whereas they report to Netmarble as an overall company, and there's several other little smaller Netmarble sugar, spice, and everything nice, everything in between that they call the different like development teams or different project teams. So they just reallocated from a game that wasn't as successful as it should have been, which again is MFR, and moved them to new games and/or games that are doing well already. Makes total sense. It's a good call. So that is how they can fix the issues from a whole company, bigger picture, high level standpoint. Move resources, make more money, lower your operating expense on a game that's not doing as well, while raising your profit margin. That's good. So what does that mean for Marvel Future Revolution? I would not expect the same trajectory of updates that we've been getting, and while it hasn't been maybe as fast as that we would have liked, I don't see us getting maybe as many. We know we're getting those companions, though. We know we're going to be getting those companions because that's where they make their money. All jokes aside, that's where they're going to make their money, getting a new, stronger companion out. The whales spend money, which is good. That keeps the game alive. And then for everything else, though, like I highly doubt we'll probably get like 1 new level expansion a year, is my guess. And again, I stuck with the facts in the beginning. Now we're transitioning to more of my opinions. So it would be perfect. It would be very ideal if Netmarble gave us a roadmap of what to expect on sort of like a yearly basis. You can expect this many companions. You can expect this many, invasions. X amount will be reused. Like every month we will be reusing a invasion. That way you guys can, max out your previous special battle badges, yada, yada, yada. You get the idea. And then we'll do maybe 2 new special invasions every year to be new and to go along with that, whatever new Marvel video movie came out or show series. Makes sense, right? Low development cost, reusing what you have makes a lot of sense, makes money. Maybe come out with some new special cards. Maybe come out with new, obviously, companions, stuff like that. That makes money. And then, unfortunately, when it comes to level expansions, that does take a lot of development, not just because it's a level cap, but also because usually it's tied into a new area. And that takes a lot of development. That's basically creating a whole new game within a game when you add a whole new area like that. So I would anticipate a lot less and maybe a lot less detail, maybe not as big of an expansion when we do get one. Keep that in mind. Probably just fewer quests with higher experience gain to help us get to the new cap, or at least closer to the cap and use the training ground. So do I think the game is dying? Absolutely not. I think the game is going to be here for at least 4 more years, is my honest to God opinion. I think that they have lowered their operating cost to continue to make money and get more of a profit gain and increase that margin from operating expense to total sales. I think that I know for a fact they will not sell this game. It doesn't make financial sense. It doesn't make business sense to sell the game. It would take a company an ungodly amount of money to get this game successful. So it's just not going to work at all. So I think that it's okay that it didn't do well. But we are going to be going on a more regular path now. Do I think the CCC program will be coming back? No, it's not necessary. We're all still making content. It doesn't matter. We don't need the crystals. They don't need us. It's realistically, it's an easy thing to cut. I'm going to be honest. And obviously I appreciated it because I felt like I had a more direct, more open line of communication with the team that could directly impact positive change on the game. So that part really stinks. But ultimately, if they want to hear an opinion, they either go to the Discord or they go to the YouTube channels or socials in general to figure out what people are saying. And that's where I am. I'm making YouTube videos, so they'll hear my opinion there. in all those places. So that's okay. Do I think that we'll be getting a new PC every 3 months? Absolutely not. I do not think so. I think the PC's playable characters will be few and far between. Takes a lot of development, and the new PCs that we do get will probably be similar to the ones that we already have. Just calling it how it is. But I do not think the game is going to be going anywhere anytime soon. I would encourage you to continue whatever your normal spending is for the game, and I encourage you to do it based off whatever your budget is, whether it be the perks, continue doing that. Because what we don't want to do is do a strike. That is not the play to make this successful for anyone, either for us or for Netmarble. They are shrinking to right size to what we need as a community, which is a small community, I'm going to be honest, to make the game successful in their eyes and to continue to make profits, like I said. Again, P&L, more profit, less loss, great margins. That's what they're aiming for. Now, in the beginning of the video, I talked about how I wanted to address 3 different groups of people. And I do want to do just that. I apologize for no B-roll, but there's a lot to talk about, and I wanted to make sure I had your undivided focused attention on me and what I'm saying. So there's 3 different groups I want to talk to. First is the content creators. So I am not targeting anyone in particular when I say this. It is all of our responsibilities and in my opinion at least, this is all my opinion. But I am not targeting any of this at any individual person or persons, like I said. I applaud Wolvathor for bringing this up. I would have done the same. It has nothing to do with Wolvathor or anyone else. But we do need to keep our audiences realistic. That is what I'm going to ask of all of my fellow content creators. We cannot overly exaggerate what to expect from this game anymore. We know the facts. It is not doing well. They have called it how it is in these articles. So we need to share positive experiences on what is currently in the game. Should we get a leak, we should share it. We should not provide an estimated timeline as to when we think said leak will come into fruition, or when we'll get a next PC, or when we will get a new level expansion or whatever. All that is doing is, sure, maybe giving us a few more views temporarily, but what it's doing is hurting the community, because they're going to be upset if that expectation is not met. If we say, yeah, I anticipate a update in the next 2 weeks, no update for 4 weeks. Guess what? We just pissed off a lot of people and probably lost a couple people in the process because they get their hopes up and then nothing happens. We know nothing as content creators. And again, I'm still talking to the content creators, but everyone as well. We know nothing. We have no inside scoop anymore. Not that we really even did as part of the Content Creator Corp, but it is important to recognize and call it what it is that we have no inside sources anymore. We have no communication, which means all we can do is report on this game as is. And that's what we should be doing. Again, leaks should be encouraged. That is exciting content. Should we get teasers? We should obviously talk about that. But let's not try to estimate or guess when the next dates are going to happen, because that will hurt the game. I promise you that, and will hurt the community. Now, next group I want to address is just the general player base. So I hear you. I am also incredibly frustrated. So if this was a American company and publicly owned as they are in Korea, there would have been an SEC filing. There would have been a huge announcement that we would have heard about a lot quicker of them downsizing this. Would people have adjusted their spending based off of this information? Yes, I think that is accurate, because people's jerk reaction will always be the same regardless of when they find out about it. But I share your frustration that we did not find out until now. And it took Wolvathor doing some incredibly good digging to find it. So yes, I share your frustration. It's okay to be mad, but it's not the fault of Netmarble that we did not find out up until now. They did report it as they should have in their company, in their native language. We are not either of those in the English and or EU communities that probably watch these videos. That's not us, and that's okay. So yeah, I share your frustration. But again, they reported it as they were legally required to. Everything was done right by Netmarble. Now, we can still be frustrated with the state of the game from Netmarble in Marvel Future Evolution. That is their responsibility. We can be upset at the lack of advertisement that went behind Wolverine coming to the game. We can be upset by that. We can be upset by changes that didn't happen when we still had the huge development team that they no longer have. We can be upset by that. But ultimately, you have to make the decision. Are you still going to play this game? Yes or no? Do you still enjoy the game? Yes or no? If you answered yes to both of those questions, play the game and enjoy it. There's a lot to enjoy now. I am personally still very much enjoying the game. I've turned it into more or less like a side gig or a side job. And I love it. I've loved editing videos. I love making thumbnails. I love playing the game. I love sharing my thoughts and opinions with all of you. So thank you for that. Thank you for watching my videos. But let's keep it realistic, all right? The game is going to be at a slower pace. Look at the events that we already have. I'll go and flip over there now. You know, we have these events, and this is what we should expect moving forward. 29 days, 26 days, 57 days, 26 days, 26 days. So longer events, longer duration, maybe better rewards, but fewer than we were getting. Because we were actually getting like a new set of events like every couple of weeks. It's actually kind of a lot when you thought about it. We'll still get the Omega Pass once a month, 21 days, maybe even longer. That seems like a little bit longer than what it was. So I do anticipate us getting, and usually we do have a little bit of like dead time in between these Omega Passes. So realistically, we'll get the next Omega Pass at the 26-day countdown, wherever that one was, right there. So this event duration would likely, again, to my previous comment about us content creators, I'm guilty as well, guys. I'm not calling anyone else out. I am just as guilty. Likely, sometime after the 26 days is when I would anticipate at least a new Battle Pass. But we should expect longer duration of these events, maybe better rewards as well, and not as many brand new special invasions. Now, the third group that I want to address, and this I might get a little flack for, but I honestly, I can't handle it anymore. The last group I want to address are the ones that are the retired ones. If you're in our comments as content creators or in our videos or, you know, in game talking in world chat or in the Discord talking about how crappy the game is, do you realize just how pathetic you look that you are trashing a game that is very obviously not doing well compared to other games, yet you're still taking the time out of your day on a daily basis to talk crap about it? I mean, I feel bad. I really do. If you have nothing else to do, I don't want to do it. If you have nothing else to do, then do that. I'm sorry. And I hope you find happiness in whatever game it is or whatever you do in life. I genuinely do. I do mean that. But it is incredibly frustrating to see that day in, day out. I had a little, I'll tell you a little story at the end of this video here. I had a bunch of people that went into one of my videos and just completely disagreed with whatever the topic was about, and then just trashed the video. In the comments, they got all their friends to jump in it. I blocked all of them, banned all of them from my content. They can never post on my content again. You have no control over me. You will not have any control over my emotions. You'll have no control over my thoughts in the game. You have no control. I have all control over what I have fun with and my content, which is why I do it. Because if you're going to be a troll and I don't want to deal with you, I don't have to. It's very easy to ban you, and I get actually a little bit of enjoyment of doing it. So that last group where you're just being toxic for no reason, with seemingly just trying to make the game die sooner, I feel sorry for you, and just get a life. Honestly, just get a life. Move on. If you don't like it, there's so many other games, apparently, according to you, that are doing better. So just go enjoy those games. To everyone else that is still watching this video, I'm sure you fall in one of those three categories, which is the first one, which is the content creators, the second one, which is the general public, and the third one, the trolls. I hope you heed my message. I hope you understand that this game is not going anywhere. It's not going to be sold, but it will be likely having a slowdown of the content that we're getting. We'll probably still get new PCs, but nowhere near as not in 3 months. We're going to get those companions. We know we are. But keep spending like you normally do. Keep your budgets. Do as you should. Do right by you and your family. But at the end of the day, just have fun. And I hope to see you guys in my next video about Marvel Future Evolution. So until next time, guys, lock it in.